good people. My good people. Hello, world. I'd like to welcome you guys back to the show that's hot with your boy, Rob Scott. This is Robs2Cents, baby. What's going on, everybody? Hope y'all been good. Hope y'all had a good, productive week. I've been busy, as you guys know, man, doing my other show with my partner, Mike. Shout out to my boy, Mike Hughes, doing the Welcome to Mars podcast, and we were actually invited on the Sunday podcast hosted by Miss Cynthia Manuel. Y'all make sure y'all go give her a follow. But yeah, it was a great podcast. Was honored to be a guest, so I definitely appreciate her for having us on. She's on the church network, also stream live from her Facebook profile, Miss Cynthia. And she's won two Stellar Awards. She which is a big thing. Is those are big awards in media and gospel. So to be able to win two Stellar Awards, you mean we talking about awards that Kurt Franklin has won in the past and Tamla Mann has won. So it felt good to get recognized and to be able to go on another platform. And she asked us questions about growing up in Chicago and about positive male masculinity, trying to get away from the toxic male masculinity and, our favorite Bible verses and things like that. So it was definitely different for what I normally talk about as far as sports. But, hey, I just want to show the world I'm able to branch off and talk about a multitude of topics, man. But, of course, I always got to get back to my baby. I always got to get back to sports. We got a lot to talk about, in this episode. We're gonna finally, call a spade, man. We gonna talk about what the Bears organization needs to do to be successful. We're also gonna get into Rob's top five teams after Week 11 in the NFL Power Rankings. Rob's NFL Power Rankings. Um, Also gonna discuss, the Heisman candidates right now. College football is getting good as we get closer to New Year's. We're gonna be preparing for the bowl games. I'm excited about that. I'm definitely starting to get into college hoops as well. So we got a lot to talk about. And then we also got to talk about the NBA. Just the NBA so far, my take on it. We're going to take some of the stats, we're going to throw them away. I'm going to hit y'all with a couple numbers, but I'm just going to give you my eyeball test of what I've seen so far in the NBA. So we got a lot to talk about on this episode. So, as I normally say, sit back, relax, get your favorite drink, get whatever your favorite vice is, and get ready to tune into the hottest sports conversation in the nation. This is Robs2Cents. And I got to start off by talking about the Chicago Bears. I know a lot of y'all like, man, let's not talk about the Bears. We go through this every week. But I got to talk about the Bears. Justin Fields returned. We was going against not just an NFC North powerhouse, but we was going against a powerhouse in the NFL period. I'm going to get more to that in my power rankings. But we would face the Detroit Lions, and we would go on to lose to the Detroit Lions 31-26. We blew a 12-point lead, y'all. We went into the fourth quarter. We were up six, kicked two field goals, up 12 points, 4 minutes left to go. All hell started to break loose. Justin Fields, however, he had a pretty good game. As I mentioned, he made his return from his, I think he had a dislocated thumb or dislocated finger. So it was good to see him make his return, see Justin get back out there on the field. And he had a pretty good game. 16 to 23 for 169 yards, threw for one touchdown, had no interceptions. However, he did have a fumble that led to a safety at the end of the game, but by that time, this game already looked like it was out of control. DJ Moore was able to get back into a rhythm. As I noticed, and I'm talking to my boy Mike about this, I feel like Justin Fields plays better with DJ Moore. And when Tyson Bagent was playing, he was looking a little bit more for Cole Kmet. And I think you got to figure out a way to get Cole Kmet the ball because you want to keep him engaged. And especially when you're having troubles on the line, I get that you want to have as many people on the line as possible. But you want to get the tight end involved in the game, especially when you get into the red zone and things like that. And Cole Kmet has had a pretty decent year. He was pretty silent in this game, but DJ Moore was able to get back into a rhythm. He had 96 reception yards on the day for a touchdown. And Dante Foreman also had a touchdown, but he left the game. I think he left early in the first quarter with an ankle injury. Went to the tent, tried to get back in the game, came back in the game, actually scored a touchdown, his only touchdown of the day, but he ended up going back on the sideline. So he's out with an ankle injury. They haven't specified how bad the ankle is or a timetable on when he'll return. But Dante Foreman has been a godsend, especially seeing Khalil Herbert go out with his injury. To see Dante Foreman come in and provide the Bears with something, something that we can be proud of offensively, because this has been a complete shit show watching the Chicago Bears. But the Bears defense had a problem stopping the run. Both running backs for the Lions scored, including former Bears running back David Montgomery, who's now playing with the Lions. They both scored a touchdown, man. So this brings me to my first point, man. Eberflus has to go. Coach Eberflus, Matt Eberflus, look Eberflustered. He has to go. I mean, the way that the Bears are responding to this guy, the way that the Bears, a coach is supposed to be a leader of men. When you have a head coach, I look at somebody like a Bill Belichick. I look at somebody like a Dan Campbell. Look at somebody like Cal Shanahan. Somebody like Andy Reid. You look at leaders of men, guys who can actually play call, and guys who are not afraid to make tough decisions. And Eberflus just doesn't take me for that guy. I mean, I listened to some of his, Mike alluded to this yesterday when he had his show. Mike on the mic. You guys make sure you follow Mike on the mic, and make sure you follow Welcome to Mars. But when he talking about on this show how Eberflus responds in post game comments, uh, this is no laughing matter, dude. Do you realize you suck as a coach? Matt Eberflus, in the 27 games that he's had as a head coach, he's only won 6 games. That's bad. He has gone down as the most losingest coach in Chicago Bears franchise history. That's bad. What are you laughing and joking about? You're 0-9 in the NFC North Division. We have not beat a team in our division since Coach Eberflus has been here. That's bad. Remember, Aaron Rodgers is no longer with the Packers this year. We couldn't even beat the Packers. Jordan Love was like the second coming of Brett Favre. I mean, it was horrible. We were up against the Detroit Lions, a team that's been playing out of his mind right now. We was up 12 points to a score with 4 minutes to remain in the game. And what do the Bears do? They just keep on losing. That's a reflection of bad coaching. The Bears coaching the coaching staff has already been a clown show. We saw what happened with defensive coordinator Alan Williams. We saw what happened with their running backs coordinator. Like he got fired because of human resource issues. This is what I'm saying. This is the guy that you got leading our team, and you expect us to make the playoffs. You expect us to make any noise. He can't even beat the Green Bay Packers without Aaron Rodgers. 0-9 in the division. I don't think you guys are really understanding that. 0-9 in the division. 6 of 27 as a record as a head coach. He's only won 6 games. Never won a back-to-back game in his coaching team. That's bad. I just had to throw those numbers out there to you guys so you guys really understand that Eberflus has to go. Luke Getz, the offensive coordinator, he has to go because I don't believe this guy has any other play calling in his playbook other than screens. I just don't get it. I don't get it. Now I'm expecting Ryan Poles to clean house. We saw the Pittsburgh Steelers just got rid of their offensive coordinator and Matt Canada. Like you see what the Las Vegas Raiders just did, firing Josh McDaniels. Sometimes enough is enough, and you got to make the move. Eberflus has to go. And I don't want to spend all my time talking about the Bears because we got actual good teams to talk about. Let's get into one of my favorite segments, y'all. We got to get into Robs2Cents, top 5 teams in the NFL after week 11. You see them right there, baby. Let's get into it. Coming in at number 5, we got the Baltimore Ravens. Lamar Jackson was able to bounce back after a disappointing loss last week against the Bengals. Not against the Bengals. I forgot who they lost to last week, but he was able to beat the Bengals this week, winning 34-20. Ravens came on the field, business as usual. The run game for the Ravens was in full force. The total team rushed for 157 yards. Lamar Jackson came in 16-26 on the day, throwing for 264 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Even OBJ, Odell Beckham Jr., had a resurrection last night as he had 116 reception yards on the day as well. Now, unfortunately, in this game, Joe Burrow he went down in the second quarter with a wrist injury. Reports it was right after he threw a touchdown pass to Joe Mixon. Reports later came out that he tore a ligament in his storm wrist, and he's going to be out for the remainder of the season. So that momentum that the Bengals were starting to get on, unfortunately, has been halted due to the fact that they would no longer have my boy Smoking Joe. Hope you get well soon, Smoking Joe. The Ravens defense was everywhere, man. I mean, they combined on the day for a total of 5 sacks. They're going to be facing the Los Angeles Chargers on Sunday Night Football, and the Chargers is another team who coach. I think Staley is his name. Coach, he probably going to get fired because the Chargers, like the Bears, just find a way to keep on losing games. And sooner or later, fans are going to say enough is enough. You know, the team is going to say enough is enough. Look at the way Devontae Adams is after they fired Coach Josh McDaniels. Now look at the energy that he had since they got Coach Pierce to take over the rim, and that had to be a hell of a promotion to go from linebacker coach to head coach. That means it's just all bad in Las Vegas. But you know what? See what happens when you put the right people in. You start to get the production out of your team that you've been looking for. Listen to Rob when I tell you this stuff, man. I'm not just talking for my health. You come to me for the truth, so listen to the truth. Let's go to number 4. We have to talk about the Detroit Lions. Detroit overcame a fourth quarter deficit, as I mentioned earlier, 12-point deficit against the Chicago Bears, winning 31-26. Jared Goff had a rough day throwing for 2 touchdowns and 3 interceptions, but I got to give it to him, though. He threw touchdowns when they needed him. He was clutch when they needed him to be clutch. And that's the reason why Detroit is so low, even though they're having a hell of a year. I don't trust Jared Goff. I don't know how much I have to reiterate that enough. I just don't trust Jared Goff. That's the reason they got him out of the Los Angeles and brought in Matthew Stafford. You just don't know if this guy will be the quarterback to take you over the hump. But so far, he's been doing this thing. As I mentioned, he was clutch down the stretch, helping the Detroit Lions protect themselves from an upset victory, from an upset defeat against the Bears, I should say. This included a pass and a touchdown pass and a 2-point conversion in the final minutes of the game. Both of their stud running backs saw the end zone as both Jamar Gibbs and David Montgomery each ran for a touchdown. And now the defense also is a little questionable. I don't think that Detroit is able to get pressure on the quarterback like they need to. They do got that dog and Aiden Hutchinson on that defensive end, just causing havoc for people. But he gonna need some help. But Aiden Hutchinson was able to cause a little havoc at the end of the game, forcing Justin Fields into a fumble, and unfortunately the offensive lineman kicked it out of bounds in the end zone, which resulted in a safety. So the Bears lose that game. Detroit continues their winning ways right now. I think, and then one thing I love about the Detroit Lions as well, they have some amazing playmakers on that offense. Man, I'm talking about my boy Amon-Ra St. Brown. I'm talking about Reynolds. I'm talking about Jameer Gibbs and David Montgomery, the two-headed monsters on that running back set. They got some absolute beasts, man. Y'all better be watching for Detroit because they are clearly the kings of the North. Now they're gonna be facing Green Bay in an NFC showdown on Turkey Day, and that is going to be exciting. That's probably gonna be one of the only times I root for Detroit. Beat Green Bay. I don't care how much the Bears are losing. I would never have love for Green Bay. I'm sorry to the great state of Wisconsin. It's just that as long as you guys are cheeseheads, we gonna always have beef. Coming in at number 3, we gotta go with the 49ers, baby. They are back to their winning ways. They defeated the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, winning 27-14 in the NFC West showdown. Brock, my game, so Purdy showed the hell up. He was 21 to 25 on the day for 333 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, and he now joins the legendary Joe Montana and the legendary Steve Young as the only quarterbacks in Niners history to have a perfect QB rating. You want to know what his QB rating was? It was 158.3. The boy was just on fire, throwing all 3 of his touchdowns to 3 different receivers in McCaffrey and Brandon Ayuk and George Kittle. And then now you add in another playmaker, but not on the offensive side, on the defensive side. Because remember, they got Chase Young from the Washington Commanders, and he has just fitted in so nicely with Greenlaw and Fred Warner and Nick Bosa and the rest of them boys on that defense. They made it hell for Baker Mayfield. They sacked him 4 times and forced 2 turnovers. I'm telling you, man, the 49ers just have too many damn weapons at their disposal, both on the offensive side and on the defensive side. And they're starting to make me look like I am Robs2Cents because I said that the 49ers are going to win it all. And now the guys are getting healthy. We got my boy Devo back. We got McCaffrey, who's still surprisingly healthy, going down the stretch. Brandon Ayuk stepping up, being a big time receiver in this league. And we know what George Kittle was capable of. I think he might be the second best tight end behind Travis Kelce. I mean, it just, and people keep talking about Brock Purdy as if he's just some type of game manager. Brock Purdy got skill to pay the bills. That boy good. You know, the boy good. The boy good. And I'm telling y'all right now, man, the 49ers are just looking scary. Not to mention, did I mention they got Chase Young on that defense now? And their defense was already one of the top 5 defenses in the league. The league better watch out, boy, because I'm telling you, the Niners are coming. Coming in at number 2. And I know they had a loss. But I gotta go with the Kansas City Chiefs, even though they lost to the Philadelphia Eagles 21-17. I still feel like Kansas City could have won that game. The only thing that scares me about Kansas City, honestly, right now, are their receivers. Their receivers are basura. They can't catch a damn cold. I'm talking about you can get them hands, you can get them gloves with glue, with gorilla glue and peanut butter, and they still won't catch the damn ball. I mean, their receivers are awful. Marquez Valdez Scanlon could have had the walk away touchdown. I mean, Pat Mahomes couldn't have threw a more perfect ball. And the man, it hit him in his hands. Then it bounced off his helmet. I mean, dude, I could have caught that. Stevie Wonder could have went out there and caught that perfect throw to pass that one. It was bad. But that Kansas City Chiefs defense, I never thought I would say that defense is the best part of their team. That boy Chris Johnson is a monster. Let me tell y'all something. That defense, they put pressure on you. They made life tough for Jalen Hurts all game long. Now, Jalen Hurts did come out in the second half. He played a better half than he did in that first half. But I mean, they would neutralized him. I mean, what Jalen Hurts was what? I think he only had like threw for under 200 yards. I mean, it was bad, y'all. Yeah, he threw for 150 yards, no touchdown, and one interception. He only had 2 rushing touchdowns on the day. That shows you how strong that Kansas City Chiefs defense is, man. And of course, you know, I've always asked this question before, and I'm gonna have to keep asking this question: who's going to step up to help Travis Kelce carry the load as the receiver on this team? Is it going to be Sky Moore? Is it going to be Marquez Valdez Scantling? Is it going to be Justin Watson? Is it going to be Kadarius Toney? Who's going to step up to help Travis Kelce on the offensive side of the ball? Because I'm telling you guys right now, if you think that the Kansas City Chiefs uh, uh, team is going to make it to the damn Super Bowl playing with the offense that they've been playing with so far, you are sadly mistaken. They're not coming out of the AFC. I'm just letting you know the facts. You're gonna have to understand that. I know he's gonna throw the ball to Travis Kelce. You know Pat Mahomes is gonna throw the ball to Travis Kelce. Opposing defenses know that he's gonna throw the ball to Travis Kelce. You guys are going to have to step up, be the receivers that they got you to be. I can't believe, especially Valdez Scanlon, you came for playing with Aaron Rodgers. We've seen you make spectacular catches with the ball. What the hell happened, bro? I'm putting out an APB right now on all the receivers for the Kansas City Chiefs. Where have you gone? Where have you disappeared to? Because clearly you guys have forgotten how to play the game of football. I think right now somebody must have stole their powers. You know, they must have space jammed. Aliens came down with the magical football and made them touch it, and all their powers must have went in that football. Cause these dudes can't catch nothing, nada. They are basura. Oh my goodness! But I still got the Kansas City team as number 2, just because of Pat Mahomes. That is the baby goat. And I'm gonna tell you guys right now, that defense is really scary. And of course, number 1, I got to talk about the team that beat them. the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, I just ran through Jalen Hurts' stats, and I want to let you guys know something. He made history by becoming, he passed Dante Culpepper and Cam Newton for the most rushing touchdowns by a QB in their first 4 seasons. Hurts now has rushed for 35 touchdowns, and that number is still counting. I don't know what it is about the Eagles, man. They continue to win these ugly games. They continue to get the 50-50 ball. They continue to play strong defense. They play smash mouth football with a great defense and a running game, man. And Jalen Hurts is able to, I would think he would have more passes just because of the receivers he has, AJ Brown and Dante Smith. I would think he would be able to get the ball to him more. But I'm not gonna criticize a team that's winning, man. I mean, they are winning these ugly games. My only question for the Eagles is, can you live off that type of winning? Can you go and win a Super Bowl off barely winning the game? Because as I mentioned before, had Marquez Valdez Scantling caught that ball, we would be having a whole different conversation, man. The Eagles would have lost that. And it wasn't due to defense. He just literally dropped the ball. So I worry about that with the Eagles, man. And their defense can be iffy sometimes. But I'm just telling you guys right now, based off what I've seen, the Philadelphia Eagles are the best team in the NFL. And those are my top five rankings. Number one, the Eagles. Number two, the Chiefs. Number three, the 49ers. Number four, the Lions. And number five, had to go with the Baltimore Ravens, baby. And now we got to get into my Heisman picks because we've seen a lot of things change. We've seen a lot of things change. Hold on, let me get to the comment section real quick. Hey, what you say? The shame on you is, man. Hey, Dwayne, man, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Hey, I appreciate you for watching, brother, man. Thank you for tuning into the show, my guy. But let's get back into it, man. We got a little bit more to talk about. I'm not gonna hold you guys too long tonight. I got to talk about my Heisman contenders, man. We've seen some great college football being played, and you guys are gonna be surprised. I've thrown a new name in there, and I had to take a name off. Unfortunately, I had to take out my boy Marvin Harrison Jr. And it's not to say that he's had a bad game or anything like that. It's just the guy that I replaced him with had a spectacular game. Let's get right into it, man. As I mentioned before, Bo Nix, man, I have to. The guy is just been on a roll this year, man. Bo Nix, and number six Oregon Ducks defeated the Arizona State Sun Devils 49-13. The Bo Nix 24-29 on the day, 404 yards, 6 touchdowns, no interception, man. This guy has just been playing out of his mind. Bo Nix, the 50th senior, said he gonna win him a Heisman on the way out, and that's exactly what it looks like, man. I'm trying to look up his stats real quick on what he's done for the year. It has been spectacular for the year. Now he has thrown for 3,539 yards with 35 touchdowns and only 2 interceptions. That is crazy, y'all. To think that this guy has been performing like that. Right now, Bo Nix is my favorite. I want to give y'all a glimpse of my boy Bo, man. Good peoples, man. At number two, I gotta go with this kid here, man. Jaden Daniels of the LSU Tigers. Sorry, Marvin Harrison Jr., man. I got love for you, and I still think Ohio State is one of the best teams in the college conference right now. But man, what Jaden Daniels has been doing, he's spectacular because he plays for the LSU Tigers right now. They're ranked number 14 in the AP top 25 in college, and they defeated Georgia State 56-14. Let me tell you what Jaden Daniels did. Jaden Daniels was 25 and 30 for 413 yards, 6 touchdowns, no interceptions, and then he came right back and he rushed for 96 yards and rushed for 2 touchdowns. That's 8 touchdowns in total. I said the score was 56-14. That means Jaden Daniels accounted for every touchdown scored for the LSU Tigers. That is amazing. That is spectacular. That is out of this world play. That's I'm ready to get to the NFL type statement right there. And things in the NFL, of course, are gonna speed up a little bit because now you're playing with men. But let me tell you something. For you to be able to do that in college, especially, and being a ranked team, that was amazing. For the year, Daniels has thrown for 3,577 yards, 36 touchdowns and only 4 interceptions. Not to mention he's ran for 1,000 yards and has 10 rushing touchdowns as well. This is your quarterback, ladies and gentlemen. Did you hear what I said? Not only has he thrown for over 3,500 yards, 36 touchdowns and only 4 interceptions, the man has also rushed for over 1,000 yards and has 10 touchdowns with his legs. That's amazing. Jane Dan, if he continues to play like this, he's gonna mess around and pass Bo Nix up. Because I believe he threw for 6 touchdowns last week. I mean, the dude has just been on fire. And of course, at number 3, I'm sorry you had to move down the rankings, my good sir. But Michael Penix Jr. had to go to number 3. He's still on this list though because they defeated Oregon State, winning 22-20. They win a tough game, tough game, especially Oregon State. Oregon State is ranked 15th in the AP top 25 in college rankings. So they wasn't going against no bums, man. Michael Penix Jr. was 24-42 on the day for 332 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, and 1 rushing touchdown. Washington still remains one of the 5 undefeated teams in the Power 5 rankings. And now for the year, he's thrown. Let me look up Michael Penix stats right quick. Michael Penix Jr. Yeah, for the year now, this dude he has gone crazy. He's thrown for 3,695 yards, 30 touchdowns, and 7 interceptions, man. These quarterbacks have been playing out of their mind, and the only thing that sucks about this is that this award has kind of turned into a quarterback award. However, man, I'm gonna tell you guys something now, man. I love the way Marvin Harrison Jr. has been playing. I think he's going to be one of the top prospects in the upcoming NFL draft. And I'm hoping with the way that the Bears been playing, like I said, we own the Panthers pick and we suck as well. So we might mess around and have the first and second pick in the draft. I say we go for Marvin Harrison Jr. and go get the best offensive lineman that college has to offer. And we start from there. Let's get into a little bit of NBA talk, man. I don't have too much to talk about with the NBA. We're still early into the season, man. But if we look at the standings right now, if we look in the Eastern Conference, I'm only going to talk about the top 10 teams because these are the teams that are either in playoff position or play in contention. And at number 1, the Boston Celtics, man. Unfortunately, they had a tough loss last night against the Charlotte Hornets. But they're 11-3, man. They didn't have everybody last night. Derek White, congratulations again to him. Just celebrated the birth of his second child, I believe. And then Al Horford rested last night due to just old age. Didn't they were on the second game of a back to back, and they figured, hey, we might not need Al for this one, man. And I still think that the Celtics should have won. Only thing that makes me nervous about them is Tatum and Brown, man. I've always said that can these guys play together and be successful? That's one of the things I always worry about with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Can these guys play together? But I love the fact that they got Drew Holiday over there, man. And Boston has been rocking and rolling, especially Porzingis has been playing out of his mind, man. Playing in the post, being able to stretch the floor with the 3 ball, getting blocks, being a presence in the paint for the Celtics, man. I think when it's all said and done, the Celtics are going to be right there making noise in the playoff and possibly making another trip to the NBA Finals. The Celtics are the real deal. At number 2, you got the Philadelphia 76ers. They got a record of 10-3. I just have to say this. You know, it's not that I'm picking with James Harden. I love James Harden as a player, especially when he made that transition in Houston. And I think like his first 6 or 7 games, the man had like 40-point game. We know who James Harden is, but unfortunately, he's kind of grown into a cancer on the team. And just look at the way Tyrese Maxey is playing, the elevation in his play. Now that James Harden is gone, and he's the primary ball handler. The way that him and Joel Embiid have been playing off each other, man. And you brought in some real good guys, man. Bringing in Robert Covington and Nicholas Batum from that trade. The Philadelphia 76ers have definitely been doing better than what a lot of people expected. Joel Embiid, on his MVP campaign, trying to get a second one, man, and he's been playing off the charts. Like I believe Joel Embiid, yeah, he's the leading scorer in the league right now, averaging 31.9 points a game. Like this dude is going bonkers, man. And I'm telling you, the Philadelphia 76ers said, wait, just keep on. Don't believe me, just watch. You know what I mean? Hey, at number three, we got the Milwaukee Bucks at 10-4. I was a little worried at first because it didn't seem like Dame and Giannis could play well together. I know Dame has been going through some off the court issues, custody battles, and divorce hearings and all that stuff. Don't want to get into that, man, because that's that man's personal business. But things like that can affect you on the court. But luckily for him, Giannis has been playing out of his mind, and when Giannis hasn't had it, Dame has been there, man. I think they just need some more offensive output from Chris Middleton. Like Middleton has to show up. Like Middleton, he has to realize, even though you're not the second best player on this team anymore, you're still an essential piece to us winning the championship, especially with the way he can shoot the ball, especially down the stretch. Middleton has been known to be a clutch shooter. At one point in time, people was calling the man Baby KD. I never saw it, but that's what the people say. But Milwaukee still is going to be a tough outing again for anybody. They still got an amazing bench. You still got Brook Lopez, Bobby Portis. You still got Pat McConnell. That's my guy right there, man. I still think the Bucks are gonna. They got Beasley, I think, over there. They're gonna be a tough outing for anybody, and that's the reason they're number three. Number four has surprised me, and that's the Miami Heat. I mean, we saw Emu Jimmy come in, making fun of the fact that he didn't get, that the Heat didn't get any player that they went after. They didn't get Drew. They didn't get Dame. I mean, they had to keep Tyler Hero. But these guys still find a way to win. And the funny thing about the Heat is they're normally not a good regular season team. They're more of a playoff team. They just bide their time until playoff time comes and they sneak on in, and then that's when they decide to click on the switch. But the Miami Heat has been playing some amazing basketball. Tyler Hero was playing pretty good until he went down with an injury. But they got I forgot the rookie they got over there. He's been playing good. Jimmy Bam has been showing up. The big Duncan Robinson just went crazy the other day from the 3-point line. They got some guys over there that can still take care of business. And I keep telling people, man, you can't sleep on the Heat. Coach Eric Spoelstra knows how to win. Something you should learn from Coach Matt Eberflus. You should learn how to coach your team. So even when you don't have the personnel that you like, you're still able to win games. It's something you can learn from. But the Heat is at number four. At number five, the big surprise has been the Orlando Magic, man. And I told people that this Magic team is tough. You got the Wagner brothers over there. You got Anthony Cole. You got Suggs. You got some stuff. You got my boy Paolo Banchero. I mean, who's been playing out of his mind. Paolo's gonna be an all-star this year. Paolo has been playing out of his mind. And he's the reason why the Orlando Magic have a record of 8-5 and on a current 3-game winning streak. The way that he plays from the post, he has a smooth game. He rebounds the ball. He's physical. He's tough. I've been really enjoying this NBA season this year because there's no clear cut winner on who's going to win the NBA championship. At number six, you got the Pacers, who've been playing good. Tyrese Halliburton leading the league right now in assists. Those boys went now Turner playing out of his mind. Buddy Hill. They got my boy Obi Toppin from New York. They got a nice young squad over there in Indiana. The Knicks come in at 7. Cleveland, who's been kind of a disappointment to me, comes in at 8, but they're starting to get their season turned around now on a 3-game winning streak. I know Donovan Mitchell went down with, I don't know if he went down with a bad injury, but I didn't see him playing the last game. But they got some guys over there, Darius Garland, Karis LeVert. I mean, Cleveland should definitely be playing better than what they've been playing. Atlanta at 9 and the Brooklyn Nets at 10, who I think Brooklyn has a star on their hand in Cam Thomas. I love the way Cam Thomas plays. He has a great game. I think he learned a lot being alongside of Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, and now those guys are no longer there. He's able to shine because Brooklyn Nets are a team that I like to call a no ego team. And when I say no ego, they don't care who gets the last shot. Mikal Bridges, he doesn't care. Spencer Dinwiddie, he doesn't care. Dorian Finney-Smith, he doesn't care. These guys, you just got a bunch of guys that want to win the game by any means necessary, and they've been out there showing up and showing out. And I got love for the Brooklyn Nets. Like I said, we only gonna talk about the top 10 from each conference. If we go to the Western Conference, man, Western Conference shot right off the bat. The Minnesota Timberwolves, I know it's only 13 games into the season, but the Minnesota Timberwolves are number one in the league. I think Anthony Edwards is trying to make a believe out of me because I've been hearing you guys say, "Oh, baby Jordan, baby Jordan." I'm like, what is wrong with you people calling Anthony Edwards baby Jordan? Do you know who Michael Jordan was? Like I get it, they have a little similar look, He got some of that killer instinct, but it's a lot he has to do. Even before Jordan won the ring, he was daily scoring 63 against the Boston Celtics, single handedly being the reason that the Bulls are making it to the playoffs every year, toughening up Scottie Pippen so that they can get over the hump against the bad boy Pistons. Michael Jordan did a lot now. I mean, that's almost like disrespectful to call this man Baby Jordan. But hey, Anthony Edwards has been showing up for this team, man. He has really put this team on his back. We finally starting to get some great physical play from Karl Anthony Towns. Rudy Gobert been stepping back up defensively. They got some great. I think they got Mike Conley over there now. They got some great guys over there in Minnesota. And like I said, Anthony Edwards is finally stepping up and he's being a star now. I know he's going to be an All Star this year, but dare I say he is starting to teeter totter in between that superstar bag. I mean, is it time to start calling Anthony Edwards superstar? I would know 30 games in. Like I said, with 13 games in now, excuse me. And surprisingly, the Minnesota Timberwolves are the best team in the league. At number two, of course, usual suspect, the Denver Nuggets. Now I know they're probably gonna start to decline a little bit. You saw last night, they were still able to pull out the victory, even though the coach Mike Malone got ejected and the Joker got ejected in the game last night as well. But they were still able to win as a testament to how well put together this team is. Now remember, Jamal Murray is suffering from a hamstring injury, so we don't know when he's coming back. They said in a couple weeks, that he can be out for. And to me, like I've said before, their bench is not as strong to me. But they got that kid. I forgot his name coming off the bench, man. That kid has been hooping. Braxton Key, is that his name? That kid has been no Christian Braun. That kid has been hooping. That's his name, Christian Braun. Christian Braun has come in and he's been a godsend for this team. I like and I do like Braxton Key as well, but Christian Braun has been playing, man. And the Denver Nuggets, they still look strong, still look like the team to beat. I'm pretty sure when it's all said and done, they're gonna be deep on a playoff run and may the best man win. At number three, we got OKC. Here's a guy who I can actually say has stepped up to become a superstar. Shea Gildress Alexander is him. Let's nip that conversation in the bud right now. SGA got got game out of this world, yo. What I saw him do to Steph Curry, even though I was a little disappointed about that, it was still crazy to see who SGA was and to know who he was and to see who he has become now. Remember the Clippers traded him away, to bring in Paul George because they didn't know what they had. And I think Chris Paul coming to Oklahoma City that year really bought the dog out of SGA. And he's been playing well. He meshes so well with my boy Josh Giddey, Chet Holmgren, 38 points against the Warriors. Where the hell did that come from? Okay, Chet got a little game to you, huh, my boy? I mean, they got a squad over there in OKC, and they on a 5 game winning streak right now. OKC is gonna be one of the tougher teams to beat. Mark my words. Every time you play OKC, you're gonna have to make sure you get a good night's sleep, and you might not want to drink any alcohol that night because you're gonna want to be completely focused to play this team. At number four, you got the Dallas Mavericks. I know they ended shaky last year, but Kyrie and Luka have been seeming to play really well together. Again, I always say this: I gave Kyrie such a hard time about being a distraction to his team when he was with the Brooklyn Nets. He's been a model citizen for the Dallas Mavericks. But I also think that's a testament to Mark Cuban and how he treats the players who play for his organization. You hear the stories all the time about how these guys eat in the locker room. These guys are getting 5-star meals. in the locker room. They're not eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches or turkey sandwiches on rye. These guys got steak and baked potato and asparagus and lobster in the locker room. That's how Mark Cuban treat his guys. I mean, and he's gonna keep the media away. He's gonna keep people out of his face. And Kyrie has done nothing but come out there and play great, excellent basketball. Him and Luca have been dominating well together. And that kid, Derek Lively, see, I told you I was gonna remember your name, guy. That rookie they got at center, that boy is a beast. He reminds me, he's one of those hard nosed centers where what he does doesn't always show up on the stat sheet. You might not always get those 2 or 3 blocks, but it's the way that he makes people change their shot. It's the way that he's hustling on defense. It's the way where he's hustling for those rebounds and being another body that Luca could dump the ball to down low. Dallas right now, they're looking really good. I think health is one of their concerns. They want to make sure they can keep Tim Hardaway Jr. around, and the rest of those guys, man. But Dallas have been playing excellent. Sacramento, we knew Sacramento was, after we saw the coming out party for De'Aaron Fox, we knew Sacramento was going to be a dog. Like I said, I think the best thing that happened to them was them getting Devontae Sabonis, and they have been playing out of their mind. Add in a Malik Monk to that, and now you got a squad. Sacramento is scared. I think De'Aaron Fox is the fastest guy in the NBA, and it ain't even close. The way he's been playing has been crazy, and Sabonis just out there babying people. I mean, the other day he just outplayed Anthony Davis. It was wild, boy. I'm telling you, the NBA been cracking this year. At number 6, you got the Los Angeles Lakers. And let me tell y'all something, man. LA, LeBron, I'm proud of you. You got this team at 8-6. You guys on a 2-game winning streak. Let me tell y'all this stat that I just read about LeBron on Instagram. They said right now LeBron James is playing out of his mind. He has a career best at field goal percentage at 58.6%. He has a career best in minutes played. He's now playing 36 minutes per game. A career best in points per minute. In 36 minutes, he's averaging 29.3 points. He leads the NBA in restricted area field goal percentage, 81.7%. Leads the NBA in fourth quarter points per game at 9.2 points per game. And leads the NBA in fourth quarter plus minus at plus 6.3. How is he able to do this at 39 years old? Because we might as well start saying he's 39. December will be here next week. He's going to be 39 years old in his 21st season of basketball, and he is still one of the best players on the floor. He's definitely the best Laker on the floor, and that's a crying travesty because they got AD so he can give AD the team, but yet they still look to Bron, and Bron has been showing up every time. I was looking at some stats earlier. The Lakers right now have won 5 of their last 4 games, and I'm sorry, they won 4 of their last 5 games. And in those games, LeBron has scored at least 30 in 3 of those games. And in the game he scored 28 points, he got a triple double. That's ridiculous to do. Now I'm not gonna call LeBron the GOAT because, like I said, you cannot take away what Jordan did during his time. But LeBron has to be the real life Iron Man of basketball. Like this dude, the way he takes care of his body. Like if I'm in the NBA, I'm ashamed of myself right now. The fact that I am being outplayed by a 38-year-old. I'm young, I'm athletic, I got my best years ahead of me right now. And I'm getting outplayed by a guy who's been there and done that. And the one thing that surprised me about LeBron is that he's still hungry. You can see it. The guy is not just showing up to play basketball for the sake of playing basketball. He wants to win, and he wants to do it his way. He wants to do it with the help of his teammates. He's going to instill the confidence in his teammates. I know I bashed him for making the right play, and passing it to Cam Reddish, and I still feel that way. I want to see my superstar be a superstar when the game is on the line. Don't pass it to him. I want to live and die with you taking that shot. But what LeBron has done in his tenure this year, in his 21st season, oh my God. You will have to be a hater to not appreciate greatness. And I want to let you guys know something. The moment LeBron James retires, we're all gonna miss him. We are going to miss him because he is a one in a lifetime generational talent. There's never going to be another LeBron James. And I just want to give him his flowers. The man is amazing. Shout out to my boy Brun Brun. At number 7, you got the Phoenix Suns, and you know their history, man. I don't think we've only seen Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, and Kevin Durant play once together, maybe twice. So they're waiting to get their health scares out of the way. I think Bradley Beal's still dealing with that back injury, but if you got D Book and Kevin Durant on the floor, you're gonna win some games. Kevin Durant's been playing out of his mind, holding down the fort until Devin Booker joined him, and even when Devin Booker joined him. I mean, look, he just scored 38 points his last game. I mean, Kevin Durant went the hell off. Easy money sniper was definitely out there sniping. And the Phoenix are going to be all right. I just know sooner or later health is going to always be a problem with them. Nurkic ain't went down yet. I'm looking at the watch now. So sooner or later, Nurkic is gonna be down with a health scare. And if they lose Nurkic, I don't know where they're gonna. I do like the guy Eubanks. I just don't think he's big enough to contend with some of these bigger guys in the NFL. Like I mean, the NBA, like Anthony Davis, like the Joker, like Joel Embiid, like Giannis. He don't have problems when he play those type of guys, man. So they better hope they can keep Nurkic as healthy as possible. But as I mentioned before, if you got Devin Booker and Kevin Durant on your squad, you're gonna be a-okay. At number 8, surprisingly, the Houston Rockets. Shout out to Coach Ime Udoka because we saw what he did with Boston and how he elevated that play before he was ultimately forced out of his job for cheating and having consensual sex. But anyway, the rules are rules, I guess. But he's been able to take that philosophy to this young Houston Rockets team. They bring in some veteran leadership and Fred Van Vliet and Dylan Brooks, and the Rockets have been playing crazy. Now they are on a 3-game losing streak, so the Houston Rockets have been rocketing lately. But for them to be number 8 right now in this early season is just a testament. They could be like San Antonio at 3-11, but they have definitely gotten better. Again, Coach Eberflus. See what happens when a team has a great coach. Things happen. At number 9, you got the New Orleans Pelicans. I know CJ McCullough is down with an injury. I don't know his timetable on when he'll come back. They still missing my boy Alvarez as well. But once they start to get healthy, New Orleans has also been through a team that goes through health issues as well. But once they get healthy, remember last year at one point in time before Zion and Bi went down, the Pelicans were like number 1 in the Western Conference. So don't be surprised if you see them start to rise again in the rankings because Zion he looks good. He's been playing out of his mind. The guy is in shape, and he hasn't missed a game as of yet. I mean, Zion has been there to play, and I'm proud of Zion. I mean, I think he's played more games than Brandon Ingram, and Brandon Ingram and him are starting to look like they're getting along and understanding that they got a real legitimate shot with them playing together. You bring back CJ McCullough and you got a squad, man. And the Pelicans are at 9, and then the number 10, of course, my Golden State Warriors, man. Draymond getting a suspension. I believe it's going to be the second game in his suspension. He's going for 5 months. I mean, 5 games. But with Golden State, I think they're going to have to do a situation similar to what they kind of did with Chris Paul. And I think you're going to have to bench Clay. I've been preaching this, man. I would start Moses Moody. I think he's a great 3-and-D guy. It'll definitely shake up some things and get guys on their P's and Q's, man. And Chris Paul and Clay can control the second unit. I just don't know if I want to keep Clay in that starting unit. I understand that that's your foundation, but sometimes you gotta fix the foundation. And you gotta replace some bricks with some new bricks, and maybe we just gotta come to that realization. Clay ain't gonna be the same Clay that we knew. He's done some great things, and he's already done enough to be a Hall of Famer. He's a 4-time champion, goes down and one of the best shooters to ever play the game. And made up the best shooting backcourt in NBA history. But he's just not that guy anymore, man. I'm expecting Coach Kerr by the end of 30 games to make a significant change. in the lineup if things are still going like this. Luckily, the Warriors welcomed back Steph Curry the other night, and he came out and did Curry like things, and they were able to get a W, get back on a winning track. So, and right under them are the Clippers, and we'll see. They're on a 2-game winning streak right now since Westbrook has benched himself and said he'll come off the bench. So we're gonna be keeping our eyes on this very, very closely. But ladies and gentlemen, that's my show, y'all. Hey, I got love for y'all. I appreciate y'all. Hey, my boy Mike, yeah, baby. You know what I'm saying? Hey, make sure you guys tune in to Welcome to Mars tomorrow, man. Like and share this content as well. And shout out to my boy Elvis, man. I appreciate you for showing up and showing some love, man. That's my show, ladies and gentlemen, man. Before I leave you, I always gotta play my video of the week. And this week, the video comes from Armani Ziegler, who plays for St. Peter. They had a showdown versus Seton Hall on November 6th. And boy, oh boy, did he have a highlight for everybody. Check this out.
You get a sense of what those 4 guys can do. Long pass here.
Oh, a poster
Wow.
to close things out here. Ziegler up high.
Wow.
That's the Armani exchange, the takeaway, and the hammer.
I mean,
you want to talk about delivering the hammer? That's how you deliver the hammer. I don't think Thor could have delivered a better hammer than that. That was ridiculous. Hey, shout out. I think Ziegler is going to definitely be a future prospect if he keeps playing like that. But shout out, and you know what? Shout out to the referees too. Shout out to the referees for not calling a tech on that, because I swear the referees in the NBA right now, they've been blowing me, bro. Pause. They have been irritating my soul. These referees call a tech if you cough the wrong way. It's like, dude, stop being so sensitive. This is the NBA. If I hit somebody with a crossover move and they fall and I step back and dust my shoulders off and shoot the 3, let me do that. If I come down there and I deliver the hammer and I put you on your first poster and I want to stare you down, let me do that. This is a game that's meant for that. Adrenaline is pumping. You're excited. You just made the play of the, so you probably didn't even want to be in the game that day. But once the game starts, you're like, well, I'm here now. It's time to go get buckets. I think the refs really need to back off and let NBA players, let players in general have fun with the game. We know what's going too far. Like if you stepping over somebody and all up in their face, we know that could lead to a fight. But if I dunk on you and I just stare you down, let me have that. Let me have my little moment of glory, my little 15 minutes of fame. That's just my 2 cents on that. Rob2Cents, by the way. But ladies and gentlemen, man, I appreciate y'all for watching. Appreciate everybody who tuned in, who stayed tuned. If you just stopped by just to drop a like on your boy, I appreciate that too, man. As I mentioned, make sure you catch me and my boy Mike tomorrow as we do the Welcome to Mars podcast. We're going to have a great time with that. And I hope you guys continue to have a great, productive week, man. Continue to watch sports and then come here to get my take on it. And so I can help you better understand what you're looking at. Hope y'all have a great evening. You already know the slogan, baby. We gone. Happy Turkey Day. There's a bigger fight going on. There's a much bigger agenda than the streets. And I know sometimes it's hard to see that far in front of us, but we have to look past the illusions, look past the delusions of grandeur, and look at the bigger picture. We need to become better versions of ourselves each and every day. Fight for what you believe in. Because if you stand for nothing, you'll fall for anything. We just getting started, baby. You guys know the slogan now. Hope you all have a great evening. And